believe in yourself. That's 3 words, and it's the most key point that I say to everyone, because if you don't believe in yourself, you're not going to achieve. I've had a lot of people in my life who said, you won't achieve that, and you're stupid for wanting to do that. One person said, oh, you just believe in yourself. And that's always resonated and stuck with me, because you can. If you believe in yourself and you just keep going, you have the drive to just keep going, even if you get knocked down multiple times, you can just get back up. You will eventually succeed. I want to inspire the next generation. And for me, I think apprenticeships are amazing. I don't believe in university. I think go to university if that's what you want to do and you need that qualification for whichever role you want to go into. But I think we really need to be pushing apprenticeships more in business. It gives young people an opportunity to build their knowledge, build their skill sets, be moulded into that industry that they're going into, and for an entrepreneur that's running a business to be able to actually mould that individual into the way that they need for their business. And for me, I'll be looking to offer apprenticeships probably by the end of next year, because I want the next generation to come in and assist me in growing the business, and for me to be able to assist them in growing themselves. And I keep saying to people, go and speak to your local colleges as entrepreneurs. Build those connections now. Go in, speak to young people, find out about the apprenticeship schemes, because there are multiple opportunities available to inspire the next generation, and actually it will benefit your business taking on an apprentice.
Hello and welcome to Meet Your Inspiration podcast with Meri and Rich. Here we're talking about inspiration, motivation and empowerment. Our guests are ordinary people who became extraordinary, and with sharing their stories we want to empower you to become the person you want to be, to go beyond your dreams.
This morning our extraordinary guest is an incredible young entrepreneur who's been involved in many things across the spectrum, from politics, event management, organising many things, and I'm sure he's going to share very much. Good morning.
Good morning, bro. Thank you for having me on.
Good. Thank you very much for finding time in your schedule, because talking to you reminds me a bit that movie with Leonardo DiCaprio, Catch Me If You Can. It's like you always obviously not involving that type of business, but it's really great to have you here. What's the latest around you?
Oh, everything. My diary at the moment is absolutely packed. I've just come back from Belfast. I've been away on business for a few days, speaking to suppliers and different event partners, building new partnerships for the business. Off to Barcelona next week on business again. Then I'm back on the Friday, off to Bruges for the weekend, and then it's off to Marbella, and then then I've got an America trip coming up as well.
And it's all business.
All business. Well, I say that there's 1 week in America where it's the week of Christmas and I'm relaxing. That's my personal holiday.
Sounds like you need it as well.
How about what a lifestyle is that? Do you enjoy, or sometimes it's a bit too much?
I love it. I love travelling.
Yes.
So for me, I can sit on a flight and I don't sleep over on a plane. I've got to be doing something. So get on the plane, have a beer, I can do a bit of work, connect to the Wi-Fi, keep going, land, done. I'm happy.
Carry on.
And then straight into a car and into meetings, and
I really want to listen your story and to know how you achieve and how you get here, because I love traveling and I wish I knew how can I do that, and to get the how it's called, the business and the leisure together.
Work-life balance.
Like.
That balance,
yes.
Isn't it? It's a real cool to get that balance.
So
right.
We're taking you back in the time. After your secondary school, what were your thoughts for your future, and what did you decide to do?
Yeah, so I left at 16. I was one of the cohort that should have been in education until I was 18. Didn't do great at school. I hated it. For me, school wasn't for me. I wanted to be out there. I wanted to be doing something. I wanted to be in business. So I was a little bit naughty. I was one of those that snuck out of school sometimes, but then not to go and cause chaos. I was going to Chamber of Commerce events. So the business show at the Ashland International Hotel, which was quite funny because I was wandering around. I'd just been in, it was, I forget what his name, Kevin Gaskell, I think it was doing a speech at one of the events, came out and bumped into the careers teacher at the school. I went, oh, okay, oops. I went, you've not seen me here. I've not seen you here. We just went on our way. So yeah, he sort of let that one slide. Luckily,
So you must have been one of the youngest people to ever attend
I think
the
so,
Kent and
yeah.
Victor Chamber of
But
Commerce
how
events.
cool is
Yeah.
that? That's, yeah.
Yeah, I'd probably been probably 13, 14, if not 15 at that
But
time.
what makes you to know, first of all, that this place exists, and second, to have that idea to go there? Was it something in the family, or
No, for me, business has always been in the blood. I've always had an entrepreneurial mindset, trying to buy stuff, sell stuff. Set up a website agency to start off with, and then moved on, and then just wanted to learn business. I was studying business at school. That was the only two qualifications that I actually really got that were above the C, were business and IT, because that's the ones that I was passionate
that you
about.
like? Yeah.
The others I didn't care about, so I didn't do well in those. I just wanted to learn and absorb as much info as I could, so I was constantly Googling everything and trying to go to as many events, networking, building that knowledge fast. So yeah, I was just attending as many as I could, and then left school at 16.
Wow.
So what was your first business venture that you did?
So it was website design.
Okay.
So designing websites for different people locally, for friends and family. Unfortunately, that's didn't take off as well as it should have at the time. But it did okay.
As a first one at
Yeah,
that
as first
age,
one at
I'm
13,
pretty sure that it was
yeah,
good.
it was chaos a little bit, because at that age, you can't access business banking. So a lot of what people don't realise is to get a business bank account you have to be 18.
Yep.
But you can be a company director at 16. So you can open a company, but you then can't get a bank account for your own company. So
Doesn't make too much
it
sense.
excludes a lot of people. So you find a lot of young entrepreneurs are setting up businesses from home, running them if they're under the age of 18, using their own personal bank account, which is what I was doing. The banks then go, oh, there's money coming in and out. This looks dodgy. So then they flag it. You speak to them, you go, actually, I'm running a business. They go, you've got to have a business bank account. Okay, let's do that. No, you've got to be 18. So straight away, the banking system's against young entrepreneurs. And that's something that I've been campaigning for quite a while, is trying to get that changed. Because, as a young person at that time, money was coming in and the banks went, well, what are you doing? So, well, it's a business.
Yeah.
They weren't too best pleased with that. And then when I left at 16, I then packed a bag and moved out and went to Folkestone, got on the train. And I became a co-director of a business hub down there, and set up a CIC at the time, which I went to the Kent Police and Crime Commissioner and said, I need some money, please, for this. Can I have some money? So I applied for grant funding, was successful, and got £10,000.
Wow, that's enough to start.
Yeah, I don't think he knew how old I was. Then he went, what bank account do you want it sent to? And suddenly went, oh, bugger, I haven't got a bank. So I had to go and quickly find someone. So luckily, the business hub that I was then a co-director of, my business partner at the time, I said, look, will you be a business partner of this CIC with me? She was more than happy, and had to get the business bank account in her name. I then couldn't be on the bank because I wasn't 18. So it had to be in her name. She had to then run the bank inside, but I could run the business. So we got the bank, got the money, and then what I then did is went out and found the best people then to deliver the project. And that ran for a couple of years, and then I moved back to Ashford a couple of years later, and went on to do a little bit different. So the CIC, the funding came to an end.
What is, just for me, because what is CIC?
Community interest company. So it's a company with a community purpose. So you're running it like a limited company, so it is a limited company, but you're giving back. You have a social purpose to give back to the local community, and it can either be that it's a limited company with shares, so that you can still take a dividend, or without shares.
This is just the type of the business how we set
Yeah,
up. This is
business
CI.
model, yeah.
Okay.
So I moved back to Ashford, and unfortunately the funding came to an end. So we decided to change the CIC model and move away from it, and we became a registered charity. And I was running a homeless shoebox appeal at the time, So when I did live in Folkestone, I used to walk from the office down to the house, through the high street and see the homeless. So it was at Christmas time, around about 2016, 2017. I said, we've got to do something. It's not great seeing them here. It's cold. Then they need some support. So I went on Facebook and just said, I've got an idea. Can the community go and get shoeboxes, wrap them up with wrapping paper, fill them up with essential items, so gloves, scarves, hats, shower gels, things like that. Drop them off here at the hub, and we'll go out and deliver them over Christmas. So first year we did that. We got about 30. Went out and delivered them out to the community. Came back to Ashford and did it again for a second year. Put it out through social media and through the media partners and things like that. And was just blown away. We had over 100.
Wow.
And we had drop-off points across Ashford, so different businesses were getting involved, shops that were more than happy for people to drop off the shoeboxes there, and then we would pick them up and take them out. And that's been going now for 9 years.
Wow.
Still happening as well.
Yeah,
now.
so we just launched our campaign last week.
Wow.
So we're doing it again this year. We've got partners in Kent County Council, so local councillors getting involved, local businesses getting involved.
Is that just for Ashford?
No. So we launched it in Ashford this year as drop-off points because it's a good place. We are looking for businesses across Kent who are happy to be a drop-off point. So if anyone does and could help, please get in touch. But we will be delivering them out to shelters across Ashford, and then we'll be going out on the street finding them. And then what we've got left, we then go to Canterbury and to Folkestone, Faversham, and we drop off to other partners across Kent as well.
Wow.
So how many people do you think there are homeless across Kent? Is there a
So, a good few hundred, if not thousands. I would not be surprised. I was out last week. I took part in they do an annual survey looking for the homeless each year, and went out with the council and multi-agency partners, and we were out from 10 a.m. till 3 a.m. trying to find different people in different areas, and we did find them. And we make a note of who they are, and we get their details for the council then to follow up and try and give them some support. I mean, locally in Ashford, there's about 35 classed as rough sleepers, but in total of those who were technically classed as homeless, because you could be classed as homeless for sleeping on the couch at a friend's house, you would be classed as homeless. There are hundreds just in Ashford.
This is making me to think. A few years ago, a friend of mine was telling me about like he was doing like a support and help for like he place that homeless people can eat, and he said that he was going there like undercover. I mean, people doesn't know that he donate the money for that to go on. He said that he was absolutely surprised by the people who were there, because some of them could be people who had everything, and just something happened, either business, either divorce, or I remember he was talking about a guy that I was absolutely smart and amazing guy who was really felt ashamed because I think it was because of divorce. He was absolutely left on the street. And that makes you to think like, because people got that feeling that if you pass across someone very often, some people are like, oh, why they don't go to work. But sometimes it's not just why they don't go to work. Sometimes they're not given the chance, or sometimes they've got support, because you never know what they went through.
I mean, everyone is one paycheck away from homelessness, is what is a saying, and it is so true. Especially at the moment with what's going on nationally, everyone is feeling the pinch. Taxes are going up, things like that. People are feeling the pinch, and it is so easy to become homeless if one thing just goes wrong. We know of people who have had successful businesses, has had an illness, they've then lost a business due to that illness, and then been made homeless because they then can't keep up with payments because they haven't got the money coming in. These are people that you would never think would ever be homeless, because you look at them and you go, oh, they're really successful. No, they've just had one thing go wrong, and that spiraled, and it's just caused chaos. We were out in Ashford looking obviously for the homeless, and some of the stories that you hear and some of the ages as well, and it does break your heart. we found someone who was in their 20s, very early 20s, sleeping in a car. Now, a lone female sleeping in a car in the early 20s hadn't got any support from the council. That should not be happening in 21st century Britain.
Yeah, and especially in a country like here, isn't it, where
We take it for granted, everything that's around us.
Yeah.
And the provisions.
Yeah. It's a real shame, and that's why we
so
we
this
do
is
it.
something that you keep campaigning and is part of your journey up
Yeah.
until today.
Well, and going forward as
And
well.
going
I mean, I will keep campaigning for the homeless and raising the awareness and trying to give support, and trying as much as I can basically to raise as much money as we can to support the homeless and other charities as well. Next year, I've come up with a bit of a. I might be mad for doing this, but I want to try and raise money for lots of different charities in 2026. So at the end of January, I'm doing a half marathon for Great Ormond Street Children's Hospital.
Yeah.
And so I'm raising money for that, and I've got a link online at the moment for people who want to donate. And then my plan is every other month to try and do some sort of challenge or something different to raise money for multiple different charities as well. So every other month it's a different charity.
Okay.
Just to try and use the platform that I've got, and I'm in a very lucky position to have built quite a nice platform of people around me that I can reach out to, business contacts. I've networked a lot over the last few years, and if I can try and help different organisations, especially at a time when they're struggling for funding, then why not? If I make a fool myself, so be it.
Thing is, it doesn't matter though, does it? Because even if it's just a small amount to give, it makes such a difference.
Does,
I mean, even if one company, like out of all the contacts you give, if everyone probably gave £10 to each thing, that would be absolutely life changing for some of these charities.
That's the thing we need to. And obviously, last night we've been all together to a quiz again for a charity sport, and that makes you to think like really small things that we can do. Yeah, £10, £5, a bit of time to go, and how it can go such a big step ahead in general of everything that we're doing, and it will be enough for everybody as well. It's just, I don't know, it's a mindset that people need to think that helping or supporting. Imagine sometimes one coffee costs you £5-6 nowadays. If you cut two of your coffees, I'm not saying all the time, but cut one or two and give them with a purpose for someone.
There's a lot of people, especially those commuting into London, probably having a coffee each morning. Well, cut that back to having two of those. Have one on a Monday and have one on a Friday. You have Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. Give that to charity. I mean, we look at it last night. It wasn't large numbers that we each have to pay.
No, if I must be honest, I'm really impressed by the amount they managed to.
Just over £2,500 last night. £5 from each of us.
And that was just over 100 people in there.
Yeah, and we each put a fiver in. Some people obviously paid more, but that raised a really good sum for a charity that's doing really good work in Kent, and that's going to go such a long way for them.
It is,
No, it's perfect, and that's why we need to help each other. I hardly believe that people. It's good to earn money, to have money, and to help and support others, because this is how all the energy will be shifted and good things will happen in the world.
And that's basically my goal. For me, if I can give back to the community, and I know that if I die tomorrow, I want my legacy to be that I've helped the community, I've given back, and I've tried and inspire and improve someone's life. That for me. If I can just go out and know.
But tell me, how cool is this that one day, because we all, unfortunately, one day we all be gone. It's exactly the legacy in what you leave. Nothing else you can take with you, isn't it? When you are greedy or whatever, what you're going to take? One day, nothing is taken with you. Everything stay here. So
I was talking about this last week to someone, that when you die, you get forgotten. People don't say your name. You become a body. Lower the body into the ground. Is the body ready for being prepped? It's not Matthew. We're laying Matthew into the ground. It's the body, because you're gone. So you got one life. Utilize it now fully. Give back to the community. Inspire the next generation. Just try and do some good. And for me, that's all I want to do, and that's why I mean, I could sit here and chat for 7 hours about all the different things I've done.
Of course.
And I talk about the homeless and all that lot. And we then turned it into a charity, and it then grew and grew and grew. And we were doing different projects throughout. So we had the Shoebox appeal. We were then doing food for the homeless in Ashford, going out each night and providing some meals and warm drinks for them in the town. We were then doing COVID parcels for families during COVID and raising money for that. I mean, we had the quickest response during COVID than the council.
Wow.
So we knew where the homeless were. We said to the council, right, we know where they are. Here's the list. Get them into hotels when they were being put into hotels to get them off the street. Then when we saw the run on the shops, people were basically buying as much as they could. We had access to wholesalers, so we were buying as much as we could from the wholesalers, so it didn't affect the shops. And we knew that there's going to be people who are going to struggle during COVID, who aren't going to be able to get what they need. So we then started doing parcels and getting things ready for families and things like that, and elderly people. And people were then calling us in need, and we were able to get parcels out quicker than what the council could get their set up. And we're like, come work with us. Like, we've got this facility here, we're doing it quicker than what you guys can. They wouldn't help us, unfortunately. But the local community bought into it. Volunteers came and helped us and helped deliver across Ashford, and we went out and did people shopping and dropped things off. And there was a lot of families that you go and see them during COVID, and they were really, really struggling. You know, this is a time when I think COVID was the best time, really, because you saw a nation come together.
Yeah.
But I really hope that people will carry on that way.
I do hope. I think it's slowly dwindling, I hate to say. But then that's because, you know, life does get in the way, and at a time during COVID, a lot of people were on furlough. We did see that those who were volunteering had been furloughed, and we're looking to try and get back in the time that they had. Now they're back to work. Their diaries are so full that they aren't able to give that time. But yeah, it's just... But
in the community, you're doing a lot, because I can see that about in Ashford, you're doing quite a lot.
I wear many hats. So had the charity. I'll go back a little bit, and then I'll come back to coming back to sort of now. So had the charity, which was then doing the homeless, doing the Shoeboxes appeal, then doing the food and everything else. Then I was doing Erasmus programs. So don't know if you know about Erasmus. It's a scheme that's now unfortunately gone due to Brexit. Doesn't exist anymore because we're not in the EU.
Okay.
But it gave young people an opportunity to go and see other European countries, and for other European countries to come over as well. So we were going over with young people to Cyprus and to Sweden and Copenhagen, and doing different projects on different topics with a group of young people. And there'd be other European countries coming over as well with young people. And basically, it's about community cohesion and coming together and doing something together. So Cyprus was about young entrepreneurship and how young entrepreneurs across Europe could be working together and building their business skills. And that was a week's worth of training and workshops, and you then got to go and see different sites around Cyprus. And unfortunately, that's now gone.
It's a shame, because that's such a good way to learn, because you're learning the skill sets of, you know, as soon as you listen to someone else talking about what they're doing, that really makes a huge difference to what you can be doing, because you bouncing ideas off each other. And also the intercultural joining together is also so important, because we all learn about different countries and how they work and different people and how their culture affects their life, and also the influence of the family.
To experience it and to be there. It's much.
So it's a great shame. That's one of the great things to lose, isn't it?
It
really?
is, yeah. And there's thousands of children went through that scheme and had access to that, and it was all fully funded by the European Commission. Obviously, now we're not in the EU, we can't have it. But yes, it's a real shame that's gone. And then,
are there other ways to make that work at the moment, Matt?
Yes, there is another scheme, but it's more open for universities. So universities and schools can apply, and then they can take young people along with it. But it's not as easy as it used to be. Before it was for community organisations, schools and universities could apply, but majority of them were charities and CICs that were running the scheme and applying, getting the money, and then delivering the programs. So yeah, it's not as easy as it used to be, which is a real shame. But no, it's
So where did you go next after that?
oh, everywhere. So I then went into politics for a while.
Okay.
So that's
Honestly, I love it. I left school at 16, but he just doesn't stop.
At this point, I'm 18, and there was a by-election, and I thought, oh, I could do that. I'm giving back to the community. I want to give back a little bit more, and what better way than getting involved in politics, because you can then make decisions if you're elected. So I reached out and had a look at different party manifestos, and I went, I sit with the Conservatives. That's my views, and that's where I sit. So I reached out to the party, went and met the chairman, sat and had a lunch with him. Said, look, I want to get involved. I'd like to stand. They'd already selected the candidate for that by-election, so I thought, okay, I won't stand for this one, but there's an election coming up in May. Can I get involved? So got involved and started helping campaigning, and said, look, I want to be a candidate. So I went through the process of being selected and said, this is what I can do to help the party. I've got this experience in marketing and design and websites and things like that. What can I do to help? So then I became part of the campaigning team, helping deliver an election campaign. First one I've ever done. And it was tough, but good fun. There was a group of us, about 5 of us on this campaigning team, that were then involved in basically running the whole campaign for all the councillors in Ashford. And sadly, I wasn't elected to the Borough Council.
Was that partly a paid role at the time? Or how did you
It's
fund
all voluntary.
Voluntary, yeah.
So it's all voluntary. You don't get paid for being an officer or campaign team within the Conservative Party if you volunteer. So you would have, had I won the election to the borough, you get, it's called an allowance, so you get a bit of money for your time. So I wasn't sadly elected to the Borough Council at the time, but I also then stood for Parish Council, which I was elected. I was the youngest parish councillor in Kingsnorth to ever be elected to the Parish Council, one of the youngest parish councillors in the UK at 18.
Wow.
And basically grew from there into politics and got more and more involved. And then I became an office manager for the association in Ashford, helping the Conservative Party and also the MP at the time, Damien Green. And then became a campaign manager for the party, helping out deliver campaigns and running campaigns for different MPs and different councillors, and basically just kept growing within the party. And then I did a few other bits in between that, and I'll come back to that in a bit. But within the politics side, had a phone call to say, there's a job in Stoke-on-Trent if you like it. Do you fancy coming? We need a campaign manager to come and work for 4 MPs and about 62 councillors.
Wow.
Across Stoke-on-Trent and Newcastle-under-Lyme.
That's a big move.
Yeah. No, been to Stoke once in 2019 to help campaign. I did a day's trip up and then came back. But never sort of been up there really and knew the area. So yeah, go on then. You know, I need a new challenge. So I was like, I've got to take it. So hadn't actually got anywhere to live at this point in Stoke, and it's coming up. It's about 2 weeks before I've got to move. You know, I've got to find somewhere now. So I'm online going, no, not that one, not that one. Oh, that looks nice. And I went, oh, that property looks nice. Just went, is this still available? I need somewhere in 2 weeks' time. I'll pay the deposit now, and I'll see you in 2 weeks. Yeah, good. So I paid the deposit, packed my life up into a car, and moved to Stoke. And just hadn't been up and looked at this house either. Just took a risk and went, yeah, it'll be fine. And luckily it was a nice house, very cheap.
And what age you are?
I would have been 20 at this time. So I left on the 4th of July in 2021 at the age of 20 and celebrated my 21st birthday a week later. So yeah, moved up to Stoke, then was a campaign manager for just over a year, delivering campaigns and trying to help the party win elections and help try and kick the Conservatives back into gear up there. And then had the opportunity to then move from being a campaign manager into full-time into a parliamentary role. So I was doing, as well as a campaign manager role, I was working part-time for the MP up there in her parliamentary office on her marketing and her communications. And she said, look, will you come full-time? I said, yeah, go on. So went full time in a parliamentary office as a communications advisor, basically running all of their communications and local constituency events and meetings, and trying to get her out there and being seen. And then I was promoted up into constituency manager and senior communications advisor in the end, basically running the constituency office. We had a team of 3 up there.
And that was in Stoke as
in
well.
Stoke. So I was living up there and commuting back and forth between Stoke and London.
Mm-hmm.
So I'd come down to Parliament and be out there taking pictures and getting video of her doing stuff in Westminster. And then
Did she have quite a prominent role herself? Did she?
So she did. Yeah, well, I say she did. So she was given a PPS role, so private parliamentary secretary, which is basically a junior role, basically a bag carrier. Within government, she was Department for Business and Trade at the time, and she was there helping out. She could have potentially become a government minister. I think she certainly had the potential. We had a constituent whose child sadly passed away, swallowing a button battery. So one of those coin batteries had come out of a remote, swallowed it, and then it burnt inside. They activate very quickly, and they just burn. It's the acid. So unfortunately, the child passed away, and there's a big campaign to try and raise awareness about button battery dangers. Now, Jo wanted to obviously help the family, but couldn't because that comes under business and trade, and because she had a role, it was then a conflict. So she wrote to Boris Johnson at the time and said, I'm resigning from my role in government. I've got to help and put people before politics. I've got to put my constituents first. So she did, became a backbencher, and we went on a big campaign helping this mum raise awareness about battery dangers. It got a lot of press. It then became a charity itself, the Harper Lee Foundation, raising money to build literature and campaigning material, working with organisations like the Children Accident Prevention Trust to try and raise awareness into different hospitals and different schools and things like that. And then in the end, the charity merged with the Child Accident Prevention Trust and has become now part of that national charity. And they've carried it on as the Harper Lee's legacy.
Wow.
They got a lot.
What a massive impact, though, from one incident. I mean, a terrible incident, but what a thing to do. And also to take, I mean, for her to stand down and go, okay, well, I don't want to be, because of the conflict. And we often, I think a lot of people don't realise that the situation that a politician is in a situation like that, and about the conflicts of interest, because you think, well, everyone would think, well, my MP needs to do something about that. But if they've got a specific role, then they can't.
No.
And it makes it very difficult.
It does, and that's one of the things. Our whole team would say it filled us with a lot of pride to work with for her, because she was one of those that she stood to her morals and she always put people before politics. If a resident was, in trouble, needed her help, she would try and help as much as she could, and that was her. She just wanted to help. She'd been campaigning to be an MP for something like 20 years or something like that. She just wants to give back, and it really, to be able to work for someone like that, it really felt you with a lot of joy. And through the Harper Lee campaign, we got a lot done, and we were able to change a lot of things. And Duracell actually changed their packaging.
Wow,
so
that's
now
a good.
On their packaging, you have there's a logo about button battery safety for children. The packaging has been changed. It's now got a coating on, so if a child does put it in their mouth, it then goes sour and they spit it out. They then did a whole advert campaign, which they paid a lot of money to have to then do, and they put that out nationwide, and that's because of the work of Harper Lee's mum and Jo and the team in the background.
What a fantastic legacy for that terrible situation.
Yeah.
Again, for you, that must have been an incredible learning.
Honestly,
what a great example and the powerful opportunity you've had to do that.
Yeah, and to be able to know that you play a small part in that MP's role, it is amazing. There's a lot of things that people don't realise what an MP's office does. They assume that you contact your MP, they're going to answer straight away, and it's going to be the MP answering. They've got a full diary.
Yeah,
they've got to be in the chamber and speaking and trying to do as much as they can. There's a lot of things outside of the chamber, different events they have to attend. They have a lot of meetings, different briefings, things like that. They can't be everywhere. So there's a team behind them that is the core function of that office. So if you do email an MP, majority of the time it's going to be the team replying. we have that conversation with the MP about what do you want to say, and for certain things, sometimes we deal with it for the MP. But you know that there is that office in the background that is running the MP's basically life. You know, it's a 7-day-a-week job for us because for her she'd be in London on the Monday, travel back on a Thursday. It's constituency day on a Friday, but she wanted then to be out Saturday and Sunday. So we were out. We'd finish on a Friday straight away. Saturday morning, 9 a.m. We're out again. We need to visit 16 different places. We got half an hour each one. So you're constantly on the move, meeting different people, meeting local people, going to an event, being seen and trying to help as much as she could. And you know, it
must be quite exhausting for them as well. I mean, we don't take it for granted.
It is. You know.
But
Yeah,
not
I mean,
only for them. Let's say we've got Matcha today here.
Yeah.
For you, was exhausting as well, I assume.
Yes.
Or maybe because you were quite
yes
young,
and no.
you were quite enjoying that.
Yeah, I mean, people say it's exhausting because it was 7 days a week, and it was a lot of hours. You know, there's some nights where you're up till you leave an event sometimes at 10, 11, sometimes 12 o'clock if it's an evening event like an awards evening that you've got to attend with her and take the photos. And you could have been out the door at 8 a.m. So sometimes, yes, it is long days, but it's rewarding to know what you're playing a part of and the fact that you're helping that community. So for a lot of us, yes, there was long hours, but you didn't feel it because you felt that satisfaction that you're doing a good job for the community. And yes, there are some nice perks. So, you know, when you're in London, you got some nice bars in Westminster which you can go to, and it's you can have a blow off some steam with other colleagues as well, and we each then know what each of us are talking about. So yeah, it's certainly a rewarding job.
Sounds like a very interesting job, particularly for a young person. It sounds fantastic because what an insight into the world and what goes on.
And it's the opportunities that you get as well. You know, I never thought that I'd have an opportunity to meet prime ministers. So I've had the opportunity to meet Boris Johnson and Rishi Sunak. I was invited to number 10 multiple times. There was a point in 2023 where I was basically there every month. And I was going, well, how many pictures can I do outside number 10? Because it's a door at the end of the day. And then would you like an invite to number 11 for this event? And we got a garden party. And I'm thinking, yeah, okay, I'll come. Why not? It'd be rude not to say no.
How does it sound? Okay, I will come.
Yeah, and then trips to Buckingham Palace as well for the garden party and trooping to the colour. And you get a lot of opportunities.
Are you still involved in kind of, I don't know, is it called the politics? Or
yes, I'm still involved in politics. So last year, the election was called. My MP chose not to restand. So she said, look, I'm not restanding. We probably wouldn't have won it. We were looking at the data and it was showing that we knew we'd lose. We weren't in a good place as government. We just didn't know when Rishi would call a general election. We didn't realise just how early he was going to do it. So when he did call it last April, I was in Buckingham Palace, got a news alert. I went, oh, he's gone for it. Oh dear, that means your job literally stops. So because she chose not to restand, for us as a team, we had to stop. So he finished that. We literally had a couple of days to go into London, clear out the Parliamentary office, hand our badges back, and then go and clear the Stoke office.
Wow.
So we shot down, we cleared out the Parliamentary office, shot back to Stoke, and then you get a lot more time to clear the constituency office out, but Parliament itself shuts down for an election, so you then can't go in. So that was cleared out. She then had a flat in London as well, so we had to help her clear that one out. And then we went up to Stoke, had to clear the Stoke office out and send stuff back to Parliament. All the furniture is paid for by the taxpayer when an MP takes on their first office. An office isn't passed on to each MP, it's up to them to pick where they want to be and the equipment and stuff that they need. That went back to the community. So what we then did, we had a charity roundtable for different charities be involved, and we just sent out a message and said, we're going, we've got to go. If anyone wants to come and take some stuff, please come. And they just came and cleared us out, took all the desks and chairs and all that lot. So all the furniture went to good causes, which is great because it meant that these charities haven't got to pay to go and get a new desk, a new chair and things like that. So we cleared that out. We were then put on garden leave for a few months, so up until end of November, and then you get redundancy. So during that time, I was out campaigning back in Ashford for the Ashford MP. Sadly, he didn't win the election. We know how last year's election went. We weren't in a good place as a party nationally. We went too early, to be honest. And I was a part of the campaigning team in Ashford. I was deputy chairman. I was elected deputy chairman digital for the Ashford Conservatives, running all the digital campaigning, all social media, all the marketing, all that lot for Ashford.
Just look at the change when you were 18, when you joined them, and now when you just gone for that lunch and you said that you want to be part and take, and now what role you're playing.
Yeah, so
Incredible.
properly in the role.
Escape to luxury at Hempstead House Hotel and Spa, an elegant country house hotel in Bapchild, near Sittingbourne, Kent. Relax with indulgent spa treatments. Dine in style with exquisite cuisine. Perfect for getaways, weddings and events. Experience luxury in the heart of Kent. Book your stay today.
Be the first to discover Kent's best events all in one free app. What's On in Kent is a new and rapidly growing app where you can find days out information, places to eat, festivals, concerts, markets, and much more around you. Just with few clicks on your phone or computer, you can stay updated with real-time info and explore events across Kent. Don't even think twice. Just download. It's free.
And then last November, there's an opportunity we have areas. So each town has a Conservative association. So Ashford has the Ashford Conservative Association, but there is also the region as well. So regional level, the whole of Kent. So I stood as an officer for Kent Conservatives and was elected last November, and that then is the next part up, and then you've got the South East, and then obviously the further you go up in the party you can. And was elected and was helping deliver the social media campaign for Kent.
So are you aiming to go up?
Who knows? If the time is right.
Is it a goal for you, or it depends how the life
It's not a goal for me. If the opportunity ever arose and I had the opportunity to stand, I certainly wouldn't say no, because I want to give
sounds
back.
like a yes man.
I
I would say from the conversation until now.
I want to give back to the community, and that is an amazing opportunity to have, to be able to give back to the community. I would only stand in the areas that are close to me. So Ashford being my number one, and then Ridley Folkestone after that, because these are the areas that I know well, and I've built I've built into the community there. So it was elected into Kent, and was just re-elected 2 days ago on for our AGM. So I'm back on for another year, and then in June this year, I stood to be the chairman of the Ashford Conservative Association, and fought a campaign against someone else and was elected.
Amazing.
So I'm now chairman of our association, and we have a team of 5 other deputy chairmen that work with me to deliver the Conservative message in Ashford and get out there and basically, I'm going to say it, reform the Conservative Party within. Probably not the best choice of words given.
But how do you do that? Because obviously, they have their central policy in London with the main team, and then obviously you've got like local aspects, and you're looking at local things and how you can maybe sort of draw close to the community with some of those points, I guess.
Yeah. So you get the manifesto that comes nationally down, but we have the opportunity to have the Conservative Policy Forum, which is an internal organisation for members of the Conservative Party to join, and they can put policy ideas to the party nationally for the party to then review and look at potentially putting those into manifestos. And that is something that a lot of members have done. They've given their policy ideas to the party, and they have actually ended up in the manifestos in recent general elections. So members have got a voice locally. There's multiple surveys that come out asking members for their opinion on certain things as well, which helps then influence the decisions nationally. I, as chairman, I'm trying to change our association locally to basically give members a voice again. I feel like sometimes they've been forgotten about, and it's a real shame that they have. So for me, members are the core of the party. So I'm going out and I'm doing what I'm calling pints and politics with the chairman. So I'm going out to different pubs every other month across the constituency for our members, 2 hours. If you want to come and meet me, come and meet me, have a pint, tell me the issues with the association, tell me the issues you got with the party, tell me ideas and suggestions you got for the party or the association that we can make it better for our members. And that's what I'm then saying to our team. We need to be delivering for our membership, because if we deliver for them, they're then going to go out and spread the message about conservatism, and then we can go out and get proper Conservatives elected again who actually deliver for the people of Ashford. So I'm going through a whole campaign at the moment, trying to change locally the messaging, our branding, getting out again. We've over time, I think, got complacent, I'm going to say that, in thinking that you can put up a blue rosette and win. That's times have changed. We're seeing this now with the likes of reform coming in, that people are looking for something different, and we need to go back and say to people why Conservatives should be elected. And for me, it's going out knocking, not just at election time, going out before elections, knocking on doors, having community champions that are elected as the voice of the Conservative Party in each individual areas, to go and say, this is what the Conservatives are delivering, this is our message, this is what we're doing before elections. So when it does come to election time, people know what we stand for, and hopefully we can then win back a number of seats nationwide, potentially then take back control of the government.
What about your entrepreneurial journey?
So that's been a long one.
Actually, after you say entrepreneurial journey, I just want you to tell me how you're managing your diary, because my head can't figure it out, all this that you said until now.
Yeah, especially all the
And
different
now
things
we've
you're
got
doing all
the
simultaneously.
entrepreneurial journey.
Yeah.
So, I'm really...
So, I mean, my diary is absolutely rammed. I have to schedule as much as I can.
Have you got a personal assistant?
So, yes and no. I have someone who's working part-time for me at the moment, trying to help my diary and try and sort it out and do my emails when I can't. So she'll be doing emails at the moment and trying to catch up on that whilst I'm here, which makes it easier for me, and we'll put things in saying, you need to reply to this urgently, and these ones you can do tomorrow, because you've got a bit more time, which is great. But no, my diary is absolutely rammed. I try and get as much into every hour. I do have a little bit of downtime at times, and when I do, I'm lucky to get that. But I sleep 4 hours a night, so I've got 20 hours in a day.
But you know that you have to sleep at least 6 to be productive.
I'm like Margaret Thatcher. I can sleep for 4 hours.
Okay.
So 4 a.m. till 8 a.m. and then I'm up and then I'm straight on.
What is okay, I've got hundreds of questions. First, tell me about your entrepreneurial journey.
Yeah, so obviously when I came back to Ashford, I had the charity up and running. I then had an opportunity. I was basically doing a bit of freelance work in marketing for different organisations, but I had an opportunity to move into a pub. So I said, I'd like to do that. That's something different. So I moved into a pub in Ashford with a friend of mine that had it, and I went and got my personal licence to be able to sell alcohol, and I was basically behind the bar as bar manager, running this pub, and it was known as probably one of the worst pubs in Ashford. It had a reputation
Before.
Yeah, it certainly had a reputation in Ashford. It was in the town centre. I ain't gonna say where, but yeah, the police would always walk past and have a look through the window. For us, we wanted to change it, and we turned it into being a pub and restaurant, and tried to get it more for families and make the food offering more appealing. So I was doing that for a while, and it was good fun. And then COVID hit. So that was fun, and it was tough, and it was a lot of late nights, and it's a job that is very full time. If you're trying to do other things, don't go into the pub industry because you don't get a time to sleep or do other things. It's a lot of work. So I then, when I left that in 2021 in July, that's when I then moved to Stoke-on-Trent and had that role in the campaign, and then obviously went further into politics. And then when the election was called last year, obviously being put on garden leave, there's only so much you can not do.
Especially for someone like you who like to be
Being
I like to be
28,
doing
7.
something. So during that garden leave period, I decided to take on a few non-paid roles, so voluntary roles, at the start of last year. So I took on a role with Kent Police. So I'm a member of the IAG Independent Advisory Group, where we advise Kent Police on what's happening locally in the community and the issues across different communities. So there's representatives from the Nepalese community and the Nigerian community and the Muslim community and things like that, all there to try and say, well, these are the things that are happening across Ashford. So I've been involved in that for a while. I then decided to volunteer for the Office of Kent Police and Crime Commissioner as an independent custody visitor. So I go around custody suites and we check and make sure that they're up to scratch, and we speak to people who've been held and make sure that they're being treated well and fairly, and we can shut a custody suite down if it's, you know, there's a wall coming down, things like that. So we hold a lot of power. That's a voluntary role. That's something to give back. But there's only so much of.
How do you balance that in terms of the hours? So like in a typical week, you know, how much time would you put into doing?
So
like
for
those
that, I mean, so IAG is once every 6 months.
Okay.
So that's twice a year.
Okay.
So that and it's an evening as well. So it's 2 hours on a Friday evening, which is great. Is fine. The voluntary role I have then with the Office of Kent Police and Crime Commissioner, that's sort of as and when I'm available. So we get dates for the year, and I go, right, that day, and that day I'm available, and then I can do it this window. You try and book out 4 to 5 hours in your diary just in case you have one. They should only take an hour, but sometimes people have been there 5, 6, 7 hours. So I try and plan in advance those days, and then that's locked out of my diary for anything else. And then I'm a founding trustee of a charity called Kent Acre, which there was a charity I think that was going for many, many years called Action with Communities in Rural Kent, which was there to support rural communities and village halls and things like that, and community housing led in rural areas. Unfortunately, that went into administration a few years back, and that was then lost for the community. So as part of a national body, Action with Communities in Rural England, Kent Acre was then formed, and I then became a founding trustee last year of that. And we're trying to get this charity off the ground to then try and give advice and support to that rural community. So we're in the process of trying to fundraise and get enough money in. And we got to raise about £50,000. So it's tough at the moment. We're looking for sort of corporate sponsorship and things like that to try and help us. So there's only so much of that where I was just like, those are the odd evenings here and there. So I was getting bored last year. So there's only so much of going out and going down to the pub and things like that. So I was like, I need to do something. So I set up the business, the Eaglestone Agency. At the time, I only do social media management. That's my background. I was like, I'll do this. Started taking on some clients, and I was like, I could offer something else as well. So I started doing web hosting. I don't like doing web design anymore. It's too long for me. I haven't got enough time to do that. So we do the web hosting part, so emails and web hosting, and then we outsource the website design to another agency, and they do that part for us. And then people are coming to us and saying, well, do you do printing? Can you print these flyers to go with my advert on social media? It's like, no, I'll give you some contacts. It's like, I better offer that service now. So went out and started investing in that, and now I've got the printing line, so we can do anything from business cards to roller banners to big signage, and anything you think we can print it. Promotional materials and T-shirts, the whole lot. And that's been really growing, and I'm so glad we did that because that's become part of a.
Is that website based as well? Do you do that through a website?
No, so we ask clients to reach out to us directly, speak to us, send us an email. The reason we do that is because we look to then get you a really good deal. So we could put on our website, we could put a load of prices on there, say, this is what it's going to be. But what I find is, come to us, tell us what your organisation is. I might try and get you a good deal. Because what I want to do, if you're a charity or a not-profit, I don't want you paying full price, so I want to offer you a discount. So, or if you're a member of the Chamber of Commerce, you get a discount. Or a member of the Federation of Small Business, you get a discount because we're members of that as well.
Yeah.
So I want to try and support other businesses as well, who then also help to support me. So you just reach out directly, because there might be something that you think, oh, he probably can't print that. Yeah, we probably can. And then we've got a new partnership, which I've actually just signed yesterday, the contract, to be able to do SEO, so search engine optimization. We're doing that with another agency. So we'll be offering that service as well. And then we've got our event management side of the business. So that's anything from venue finding. So, you need a hotel for your podcast or something like that. We can go and find you that venue. Or it could be a full service where we find you the venue, we organise your event for you, and then you just turn up and we just bill you.
Yeah.
And that could be, you two would like a private lunch. Can you find us a really nice place in Kent? Perfect, we'll do that for you. Or it could be, we've got a conference for 500 people plus. Can you do that? Yeah, sure. Or we've got a VIP person. Can you help manage a VIP? Yes, we can. We've done different events with VIPs, former prime ministers, where we've got that contacts and the knowledge of how the police force want certain events to go, and locations have to be for a VIP on that sort of scale. We've got partnerships with different organisations that you might go, oh, I need such and such for our event. Marquee hire, we can get you that. Chauffeur, and we've got a range of partners that we work with. We've just signed a deal this week as well to be able to offer more services. So if you want to go to Formula One next year, we'll be able to offer that as well. It's a deal we've just done with another client. And growing and growing.
Sounds amazing. I assume you've got at least a little bit of team on that front.
Yes and no. So it's mostly me. What I then do is I look to outsource as much as I can to local individuals.
Yeah.
So I look for other local businesses and local entrepreneurs on a self-employed basis that when I need assistance, I put a lot of work out to them, because then it helps them grow as well. I can't do everything on my own.
No.
I want to try and use as much local independence as I can, and if that assists them, great. And it gives me some amazing opportunities. So I've just come back from Belfast, so I've had 3 days over there. I'm off to Barcelona next week, and then I'm off to Bruges, and then Marbella, and then I've got America as well.
Okay, let's say I'm a bit like, if you go to Marbella or Bruges, what is related about to make sure that you've got these connections to offer the events to happen to different places around the world, not just here? That's the point?
Yeah, so at the moment, all of our events have been predominantly just for the UK market. That's been our clientele focus, and now I want to be able to offer, if you want to do an event in, say, Spain or Ireland, or even America, I need those contacts. So I'm going to all these different events, which are all business, and it's great because they invite you over. It's normally a week or a few days where you get to meet 45 to 100 different suppliers and different businesses, and you get to then hear about what they do. So Belfast, I was there, and you met different hotel suppliers, people who run software for events, and I was able to go, oh, right, perfect, I've got their card. You could come to me and say, I need a hotel in Belfast for tomorrow. Where's somewhere nice? Okay, oh, yes, I've got that contact now. Yeah. Great, I can help you with that. Or it's, I need an experience day. I want to take Richard out and send him out and do sort of car racing or something.
You are spot on. That's what you want to do, actually. Exactly. The minute you said the F1, I was like, I know who will be interested.
So we'll be having a conversation after this question then and get you booked in.
Last night about the F1, he couldn't even wait the question to finish. He started writing. Oh, God, it's amazing what you're doing. Honestly, it's absolutely... And I've got a question. How you said that you're finding your time, you sleep 4 hours. How you recharge?
So for me, friends. I meet up with friends when I can and go for a bit of lunch, and for me that's when I can sort of just go down a bit. When I'm travelling, I love being on an airplane. Mm-hmm. I find I'm at peace on a plane. I don't sleep on planes. I can't do it. I'll be awake for the full flight and I'll come back and then I'll sleep in the car. But I find being up in the air and just looking out, I'm at peace. For me, that's my downtime. So yeah, and I've got that lovely opportunity that I get all these trips abroad now. That I'm on multiple planes, I'm getting them air miles, and for me, that's when I can relax for 8 hours on a flight to America and things like that.
If a young person is listening this, what would you advise them in terms of to go? I assume one of these things will be the yes thing on the opportunities.
Yeah.
But if someone is thinking, oh, what shall I do? Which path to go? Or shall I listen to what I'm passionate about or what some people are telling me to do? What would be like one advice you would give to someone who is listening?
Believe in yourself. That's 3 words, and it's the most key point that I say to everyone, because if you don't believe in yourself, you're not going to achieve. I've had a lot of people in my life who said, you won't achieve that, and you're stupid for wanting to do that. One person said, oh, you just got to believe in yourself. And that's always resonated and stuck with me, because you can. If you believe in yourself and you just keep going, you have the drive to just keep going. Even if you get knocked down multiple times, you can just get back up. You will eventually succeed.
One of the things you've said, sort of, that's really resonated as you've been talking, is your approach is yes, I can.
Yeah.
If someone asks you, one of the things I know you do, because we've met you many times in different networking events, you meet people, you get to know a little bit about them, and you make sure that they know you.
Yeah.
And that means that when someone comes to you, you have got the right contact. And that makes a huge difference, doesn't it?
Yeah, and networking is such a key role of business. I say to young people, network as well. Build that network of people around you, because one day you might find, actually, oh, I need something. That person's in that industry. I can have that conversation, or even if it's just, can I have 5 minutes of advice? You've got that business card. Bring them up and just say, we've met at this event. I just want 5 minutes of your time. A lot of people say, yeah, I'll give you that. I'll give you that over coffee. Or even if they can't, they'll send an email with a bit of advice on an email. Network, that is your key asset in business.
So,
Absolutely.
what is next, Matt?
Lots. I assume lots.
Yeah, lots. I mean, growing the business as much as I can. I'd like to look to potentially take on people at some point. Probably by the end of next year is when I'm going to need to probably take someone on. For me, it probably won't be a full-time role. I've said this already, but I want to inspire the next generation. And for me, I think apprenticeships are amazing. I don't believe in university. I think go to university if that's what you want to do and you need that qualification for whichever role you want to go into. But I think we really need to be pushing apprenticeships more in business. It gives young people an opportunity to build their knowledge, build their skill sets, be moulded into that industry that they're going into, and for an entrepreneur that's running a business to be able to actually mould that individual into the way that they need for their business. And for me, I'll be looking to offer apprenticeships probably by the end of next year, because I want the next generation to come in and assist me in growing the business, and for me to be able to assist them in growing themselves.
To be honest, that's a value that we both absolutely agree with, and it's something. I mean, we were talking like some months ago about opportunities in apprenticeships and ideas for growth for that, and it's something that definitely needs to be supported, because so many people go to university today, and
without knowing why they're going,
and also they get to the end of that course, and they're not ready for work.
No.
And there's a huge gap between the skill sets required.
So I've got Freedom of the City of London. So I was awarded that at the start of this year.
What does it mean?
So it's one of the ancient rights of the city. So it's an honour to be awarded, and the City of London Corporation can award it to an individual either for charitable work, community work, outstanding contribution to the city, or if you're a member of a livery company, and there's just over 100 livery companies now. And I'm a member of the Worshipful Company of Communicators, which is set up to be a voice for those in the communications industry. And I was a freeman of the company, which gave me the opportunity to then apply to get Freedom in the City of London, and was then accepted, and went up to the Guildhall in the city and had the big ceremony, and was then given the plaque and signed the book, which is now in the National Archives, and I sit now with the likes of Winston Churchill and Marie Curie, things like that, that have all got freedom of the city, and you got to see their plaques in the building as well. And it gives you some agent rights. So before, having freedom of the city allowed those traders in the city to bring their cattle, sheep across the bridge for no toll, to then be able to sell their wares. And it still keeps going today to raise awareness about that tradition, but also then to raise money for charity as well. And it gives me the right. So when you see on TV and in the news people in London each year walking sheep across the bridge, I'm allowed to do that because I've got freedom of the city. So I did that this year. I went up to London, took part, and walked the sheep across the bridge and back. And I'm allowed to carry a sword in London as well, open sword. And if they ever brought back hanging, I could be hung by silk rope. So you get some very ancient laws and.
But it's great honour.
Yeah, great honour.
Yeah,
Wow.
and it's lovely to have, and the people I've met through that have been amazing. And a lot of them are business people. When I speak to them, and they each say the same about university as well. They get a lot of young people that come into their business from uni who think they know everything because they've been told everything at uni, and then they can't mould them into the way they need because that young person's come in with, oh, I know this. This is the way I've been taught, so this must be the way it is. No, business works a different way, and and apprenticeship allows a young person to actually see how a business wants you to work, and for a business to mould that person. And there's a lot of benefits businesses get from taking on an apprentice. And I keep saying to people, go and speak to your local colleges as entrepreneurs. Build those connections now. Go in, speak to young people, find out about the apprenticeship schemes, because there are multiple opportunities available to inspire the next generation, and actually it will benefit your business taking on an apprentice.
And it's one of those things that really needs to happen.
Yeah.
And unfortunately, so many big businesses don't take the time. I mean, even in Kent, we see there's a lot of businesses that aren't represented, bigger employers who don't come out to meet the right people and to take those opportunities to reach out. Because if they did, that would actually mean that they would find the right people. So many big companies today rely on just recruitment companies just to find the people, and all they're doing is moving the same people around and around and around. But actually what you want is to encourage so many young people to come out of, like you say, out of maybe early education, and because a lot of children today don't even know what they want to do. And the reason they don't know is because they don't even know what opportunities they've got before them.
Well, they all come out of education thinking they're going to be next TikTok star or next YouTube star.
Yeah, and that's it.
It's a hard. Yes, you potentially could, but it's a hard industry to be in. Now, I'm in a lucky position that I do have quite a nice following on social media.
Yeah, but you look how hard you work on that.
Absolutely.
I've worked very hard across my social media, and it's taken 10 years to build that following up. You don't make a lot of money. It's certainly not a full-time job unless you're in the millions of followers and all that lot. Yes, then you could be making some money, and you get the brand deals and things like that. But it is very tough, and you won't potentially hit it. Do it on the side with a job that you can then grow. If you want to be the next TikTok star, do that on the side. But take on an apprenticeship, because that gives you the opportunity to grow and develop your skills.
And real skills.
Yeah. And I mean, I've been with different colleges recently, and they say businesses aren't reaching out. So they're now having to go out to things like the Chamber of Commerce networking events and say, we are here. We need you as business to come and speak to us. And unfortunately, there are many businesses that just don't.
No.
Which is a real shame.
Yeah, it is. Yeah, it is. Well, Matt, thank you so much. So we've covered so many things. I just want to ask you, so the charities that you work with, particularly, which are the ones you want us to particularly sort of focus on to share with the people?
So obviously I've got my half marathon in the new year. So that's Great Ormond Street Children's Hospital. I'm then 21 Together. So our networking events that we do, we give 10% of our ticket costs away to 21 Together. And then I've also just in the process of launching a foundation as well. So I'm launching what I'm going to call the Eaglestone Foundation. And the reason I'm doing that is it's going to be a way for me to be able to give back even more to the community. So going out and looking to businesses to raise money from them to different grant funding applications, to do multiple different projects next year as well, to support a range of different charities across Kent and hopefully nationwide at some point as well. And that will be my platform to go out and do as much fundraising as possible. And then for me, if I can just give back, that's the main thing. But if there's a charity that someone's got locally at heart as well that they want me to potentially do something for, just reach out to me, because 2026 I want to try and do as much as I can to raise as much money for different organisations. So every other month I'm looking to try and do a different, either a funny idea or take part in a race or something like that. Something different. I'm willing to put myself out there and have a bit of a laugh and a bit of fun and make it for myself.
But this can be something inspiring for people who are listening. If they want to join, like Matthew's Challenge 2026, that's going to be even better.
People could just literally a fiver. That's all people need to do, or even just a quid. A fiver is your coffee going into London. That makes a real difference to a lot of these charities. And if you can give just literally £5 every other month, that's an amazing opportunity that we can give to multiple different charities across the UK next year.
Yeah, for me sounds perfect if there is a place where you can, maybe that's going to be your foundation, that you can give the money and at some point you just split them to the different, because people sometimes maybe they get, I want to help and them and them and them and them, and sometimes you can't help everybody. But if it's like that one place where you've got your money and then you can every month support different charities, sounds really cool.
And that's what the foundation will basically be on the website. Is it will have probably about 6 different categories. So there'll be children, one about entrepreneurship, things like that, family food banks, homelessness, etc. That if you want to make a donation to each individual one, you can, or you could just donate to the foundation, and then that will be spread out across each one. The business itself, Eaglestone Agency, we commit as well to give 10% of all of our profits each year to charities, CRCs and community interest companies, and non-for-profits. And the reason we do that is because we ask all our clients that if you become a client of us, you become part of the Eaglestone family. So we ask you to nominate a CIC, a not-for-profit, a community group that's close to your heart as one of our clients. We put them all into a pot, and at the end of the year, 10% of our profit gets taken out of the agency and it's split across all those charities as well. So for me, all of our businesses have all got a social purpose. The agency gives 10% back to multiple charities, foundations there to raise as much money as we can for different charities, and then our networking events as well. 10% of all of our ticket prices go to 21 Together, the charity that works with Down syndrome children. So for us, my businesses have all got a social purpose and just want to give back to the community, inspire the next generation, and just do as much as I can. And if that's my legacy when I do die, I'll be proud.
You should be.
It will be, but you've got lots to go. And honestly, I think today we had absolutely spot on meet your inspiration. I mean, all the guests are amazing, but today we talk exactly a lot about inspiration. And honestly, hats down to you, because I don't know, I don't have words to describe for 25 years what things you achieve, and especially we're talking for the last 9 years, let's say.
Yeah, exactly.
About 9 years, and even then, things I've gone into today, there's a lot more that I've done and a lot more I can go into.
We'll give you a few months
we'll
more.
Be here for probably about 7 hours.
Yeah, but we'll give you a few
We're going to have to
months.
do a second episode, a follow-up, and
yes,
all
this
the
is
things
what
we
I mean.
missed.
We're going to give you a few months, and maybe mid-month next year, you can come back and tell us how it's going, the challenge, and how far you're going with everything, because it's going to be amazing. And now you are part of our inspirational circle. So many thanks for your time.
Thank you very much.
Great conversation.
Now, we often say that our people are ordinary people, and Matt is a great example for sure, and I'm sure everyone sees that today, of someone who can come out of school, not really maybe do so well at school, but actually thrive in the business environment and grow, and also leave a perfect legacy, even just age 25. So we really hope today's really inspired you. And today, Matt is certainly an extraordinary guest. So thank you, Matt.
Thank you, mate.
And we hope you really enjoyed today's episode. And if you have enjoyed it, please do give us a like. Please do subscribe to the channel.
And also, if you're willing to help us in our project to be able to grow and to bring much more and many more other inspirational guests, please follow the link and buy us a coffee. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Take care. See you soon.